unfolded mysteries. The spectral secrets of the whispering ATM. In the heart of a bustling city, amidst the neon glow of skyscrapers and the never-ending hum of traffic, there stood an ATM machine that was unlike any other. Located in a quiet corner of a dimly lit alley, this ATM had earned a reputation for something otherworldly. Its legend was known to a select few, whispered among the locals. Lucas, a young and adventurous urban explorer with a penchant for the paranormal, had heard the tales of the whispering ATM and was determined to uncover its secrets. Armed with his camera and a desire for a thrilling story, he ventured to the ATM late one fateful night. The city was bathed in the pale light of the moon, and the shadows danced across the graffiti-covered walls of the alley. Lucas set up his camera and aimed it at the ATM, eager to capture any signs of the supernatural. As he began to speak into the microphone, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him. In the heart of this bustling metropolis, nestled in the shadows of towering buildings, there exists a legend of the whispering ATM. They say that when the city sleeps and the alleys are cloaked in darkness, this ATM becomes a portal to another world. Just as Lucas finished his introduction, the ATM machine's screen flickered to life, casting an eerie bluish glow on his face. It displayed a chilling message. "Welcome, Lucas." Stunned and trembling, Lucas felt a cold chill run down his spine. He hadn't even initiated a transaction, and the machine seemed to know his name. The screen flickered again, revealing a cryptic series of numbers and letters. It was as if the machine was trying to communicate. Curiosity got the better of Lucas, and he cautiously touched the screen. Before he could react, the machine's screen glitched and displayed a grainy image of a woman, her face etched with a profound sadness. A ghostly voice crackled through the ATM speaker. "I've been waiting for someone like you," the voice whispered, sending shivers down Lucas's spine. "Listen carefully, Lucas. I have a story to tell, a story that's been hidden from the world for far too long." The machine showed images of the city in a bygone era, a place of glamour and sophistication. The voice continued, recounting a tale of love, betrayal, and a tragedy that had shaken the city to its core. Decades ago, in the heart of the city, a brilliant inventor had created a groundbreaking technology that could change the world. He had shared his dreams and inventions with a woman he loved, but she had conspired with a ruthless corporation to steal his ideas. The inventor had been left heartbroken and betrayed, his world shattered. The ATM displayed images of the inventor's rise and fall, his creations and his heartbreak. The voice narrated how the inventor had become consumed by grief and had invented a device to communicate with the other side. Desperate to reconnect with his lost love, he had used the device and accidentally opened a portal to the spirit world. The machine's screen flickered again, returning to the present, and the woman's voice whispered, "You are the key, Lucas. You must help us find the closure we seek to reunite the lovers and free the inventor's tortured soul." Determined and intrigued, Lucas agreed to help. He knew he had stumbled upon a story that was both astonishing and haunting. He promised the ATM that he would uncover the truth and find a way to reunite the lost lovers. The screen went blank, and the ATM fell silent once more. Lucas collected his equipment and left the alley, the haunting images and the mysterious voice still echoing in his mind. In the days that followed, Lucas delved into the history of the inventor, his lost love, and the stolen inventions. He discovered clues that led him to a hidden laboratory deep within the city, a place where the inventor had worked tirelessly to create his communication device. As Lucas continued his investigation, the ATM machine remained a conduit between the living and the spirit world. It guided him, offering insights and revealing secrets that had been buried for decades. With each discovery, the connection between the two realms grew stronger, and Lucas was drawn deeper into the spectral mystery. Eventually, Lucas uncovered the lost love's final resting place and the inventor's long-forgotten device. Through a series of experiments and with the guidance of the whispering ATM, he managed to open a portal to the spirit world. It was a moment of bittersweet reunion as the inventor and his lost love were finally able to embrace, finding peace at last. Lucas's story of the whispering ATM and the paranormal secrets it held captivated the city. He became renowned as the brave explorer who had bridged the gap between the living and the spirit world. The alley where the ATM stood became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking solace and connection with the supernatural. The whispering ATM, once a symbol of mystery and fear, had become a beacon of hope, proving that love could transcend time and death. It served as a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the city, there were secrets waiting to be uncovered and spirits longing to find peace. It was a chilly autumn night, and Sarah and Mark, a young couple deeply in love, found themselves standing before an ATM machine tucked away in a dimly lit corner of the city. The streets were eerily empty, and the only sounds that broke the silence were the distant hum of a passing car and the rustling of leaves in the wind. The couple had come to withdraw some cash for an upcoming trip and decided to make a quick stop at the secluded ATM. As they approached the machine, the pale glow of its screen cast eerie shadows on the graffiti-covered walls. Mark inserted his card, his breath forming small white clouds in the frigid air, and began entering his PIN. But just as he was about to confirm the withdrawal, the screen flickered, and the machine emitted a low, ominous hum. "What's going on?" Sarah asked, her voice filled with unease. Mark tried to cancel the transaction, but the buttons were unresponsive. Panic began to creep into his voice as he tugged at the card, but it remained stuck in the machine. "We should go." "This doesn't feel right," Sarah urged. But before they could take a step, the world around them seemed to shift. The ATM's surroundings blurred, and they found themselves standing in an entirely different place. They were no longer in the city, but in a dense, dark forest. The air was heavy with an otherworldly chill, and the moon cast a hauntingly pale light over the trees. The ATM machine was gone, replaced by a gnarled ancient oak tree that stood as a solitary sentinel. Sarah and Mark exchanged frightened glances, their hearts pounding. It was as though they had stepped into a realm beyond their understanding. Mark reached for his phone, but there was no signal, no way to contact the outside world. In the distance, they heard eerie whispers like a symphony of ghostly voices carried on the wind. The voices seemed to beckon them deeper into the forest. Drawn by an unseen force, they started to follow the haunting whispers, their footsteps echoing through the quiet night. As they ventured further into the forest, the atmosphere grew even more surreal. Strange creatures with glowing eyes darted between the trees, and the shadows seemed to come alive, shifting and morphing. The couple's fear intensified with each passing moment, but they couldn't turn back. They were trapped in this strange, paranormal realm. After what felt like an eternity, they stumbled upon a clearing illuminated by a faint, otherworldly glow. In the center of the clearing was a shimmering pool of water that seemed to radiate an unnatural light. Sarah and Mark approached the pool cautiously, their reflections distorted and unsettling in its rippling surface. As they peered into the water, they saw glimpses of their own lives, both past and future, flashing before their eyes. The pool revealed moments of joy, sorrow, and even scenes they couldn't comprehend. It was as though they were witnessing the tapestry of their entire existence. Suddenly, a figure appeared on the other side of the pool. It was a spectral being, tall and gaunt, with eyes that glowed with an eerie, silvery light. The figure beckoned them closer, and without thinking, they stepped closer to the pool. "I am the guardian of the Midnight Realm," the figure intoned in a ghostly voice. "You have been brought here to witness the choices that lie ahead of you." Sarah and Mark were filled with a sense of dread, realizing that the decisions they made tonight had led them to this surreal place. The guardian began to show them different paths and the consequences of each choice. They saw visions of joy, heartache, success, and failure, each linked to the choices they would make in their future. Tears welled in Sarah's eyes as she saw the pain she might inflict on Mark with her decisions. Mark, too, felt the weight of his choices and their impact on Sarah. The guardian's words were a haunting reminder of the complexity of their lives and the uncertainty of the future. Finally, the guardian spoke. "You have glimpsed the tapestry of your lives. Now you must make a choice. Will you stay together, embracing the unknown, or will you go your separate ways?" Sarah and Mark shared a long, silent look, their hearts heavy with the weight of their decision. In that moment, they both knew what truly mattered to them, and it wasn't the cash they had come to withdraw. With determination in their eyes, they turned to the guardian and said, "We choose each other." As they made their choice, the Midnight Realm began to fade away, and they found themselves back in front of the ATM machine, their card now released. The night had returned to its normal silence, and the strange forest was but a distant memory. They withdrew the cash they had come for, but their hearts were filled with a newfound appreciation for each other and the life they had together. The paranormal experience had brought them closer, reminding them that, in the end, the most important choice of all was the one to love and support each other, no matter what challenges lay ahead. The Haunting of Midnight ATM. Once upon a moonless night in the quiet, dimly lit corner of a small town, there stood an ATM machine outside a decrepit, abandoned bank. The townsfolk whispered of eerie occurrences at this ATM, and many believed it was haunted. In this town, where supernatural tales were told by the firelight, one story stood out above the rest. Sarah had heard the legend of the Midnight ATM countless times. The story had been passed down for generations, making her curious to uncover the truth. She was an investigative journalist, seeking a thrilling story to reignite her career. The Midnight ATM legend seemed like the perfect opportunity to make a name for herself. One chilly evening, as the town slumbered, Sarah parked her car near the ATM machine. It was the witching hour, and a dense fog rolled in from the nearby woods, shrouding the bank in an eerie mist. She set up her recording equipment and adjusted the camera to capture the machine and its surroundings. As Sarah approached the ATM, a shiver ran down her spine, and she felt an unusual presence in the air. The keypad's dimly lit numbers and buttons looked even more mysterious in the misty darkness. She pressed record and began her narration. In the heart of this sleepy town, an enigmatic tale of the Midnight ATM has intrigued the locals for generations. They say that on nights like this, when the moon hides its face and the fog descends, the ATM machine comes to life. Just as Sarah uttered those words, the ATM machine hummed to life. Its screen flickered, displaying a chilling message. "Welcome, Sarah." Stunned, Sarah froze in her tracks, her heart racing. She hadn't even entered her name for any transaction. The machine's screen glitched and then displayed a series of numbers that seemed to be a random sequence. Sarah glanced around nervously, wondering if someone was playing a prank on her. Bravely, she reached out to touch the screen, but before her fingers made contact, the machine's screen flickered once again, this time showing grainy footage of an old man, his face etched with despair. The voice of the man crackled through the machine's speaker. "I've been waiting for someone like you," the voice whispered, sending a shiver down Sarah's spine. "Listen closely, Sarah. I have a story to tell, a story that has been locked away for decades. This town has a secret, and it's time you know." Sarah hesitated but felt compelled to continue. The machine showed images of the town in its heyday, bustling with life and prosperity. The man's voice continued, recounting a story of greed, betrayal, and a terrible tragedy. Decades ago, the bank's founder, a wealthy and corrupt businessman, had seized the town's resources and manipulated the economy to his advantage. He had built the bank on the backs of hardworking townsfolk, exploiting their labor and dreams for his own gain. The townspeople, desperate and angered, had banded together to protest his tyranny. The machine displayed images of the townspeople marching outside the bank, demanding justice. In a chilling twist, the businessman had made a deal with dark forces to protect his wealth and power. The machine showed him performing a dark ritual in the basement of the bank, sealing his pact with a malevolent entity. The entity's curse had brought devastation upon the town. It devoured the souls of the townsfolk, trapping them within the ATM machine's code, where they had languished for years, seeking a savior to break the curse. The businessman's soul was bound to the machine, endlessly reliving his sinister deeds. The machine's screen flickered again, returning to the present, and the old man's voice whispered, "You are the key to breaking the curse, Sarah. You must expose the truth and bring justice to this town." As Sarah listened, her resolve grew. She knew this was the story she had been searching for, the story that could change her life and the town's fate. She promised the ATM that she would uncover the truth and reveal the dark secrets of the bank's history. The screen went blank, and the ATM fell silent once more. Sarah gathered her equipment, her heart still racing, and made her way back to her car. As she drove home through the thick fog, she couldn't shake the feeling that the spirits of the townsfolk were now depending on her. Over the following weeks, Sarah tirelessly researched the bank's history, digging up old records and interviewing elderly residents who remembered the past. The more she learned, the more she realized the depth of the businessman's wickedness and the extent of the curse's hold on the town. Her investigative work led her to discover a hidden chamber beneath the bank where the dark ritual had taken place. As she delved deeper into the bank's secrets, the curse grew stronger, and the ATM machine continued to communicate with her, offering guidance and encouragement. Finally, Sarah published her expose, revealing the true story of the Midnight ATM and the cursed bank. The town was both shocked and grateful for the truth that had long been hidden. The businessman's dark secret was exposed, and justice was served, even in death. As the curse was broken, the ATM machine fell silent for the last time, and the spirits of the trapped townsfolk found peace. Sarah's article won her awards and recognition, but she knew that her greatest achievement was bringing closure to the town and putting an end to the haunting of the Midnight ATM. From that day forward, the ATM machine remained a symbol of redemption, a reminder that even the darkest secrets could be brought to light and justice could prevail. The small town, once shrouded in mystery and fear, now stood as a testament to the power of one brave journalist's determination and the spirits of those long forgotten. We hope you enjoyed those spine-tingling tales as much as we did. If you're still feeling a little spooked, don't worry, you're not alone. But before we say goodbye, we have a few things to ask of you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you found these stories as chilling as we did. It really helps our channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. There are plenty more eerie adventures waiting for you right here, so you don't want to miss out. Share this video with your friends and fellow thrill seekers. After all, spooky stories are best enjoyed with company, right? That's a wrap for today, but stay tuned for more bone-chilling content in the future. Until next time, remember to keep your flashlight handy, your wits about you, and always be ready for the unexpected. Thanks for joining us on this haunting journey. Take care and may your nights be eerily entertaining. See you in the next video.